So now I want to talk about why people breadcrumb, which there's a much longer list of things than what I'm going to talk about, but I do want to talk about the main ones. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go on ahead and I'm going to sum up most of these reasons as selfishness. So one reason why a person may breadcrumb, and I talked about it before, that's just basically when a person gives a person just enough to keep them hanging on. Some people may call it spoon feeding. Some people may call it just kind of stringing someone along. And this can be in dating, and it can also be in marriage too. There's a lot of marriages that go on and on and on for years when the signs are there that there's a person that is behaving like they no longer want to be in the relationship, but yet they remain. So, some of the reasons for remaining is they have the fear of the unknown. And by the way, some of these things are going to be kind of hard to hear, but they have a fear of the unknown. They don't know what life is going to be like without this other person if they let them go. So at least they have their security with that person because they don't know what life is going to be like. They don't know if they let that relationship go, if they're going to get out there and not really be able to find it that easy to find someone else that would be dating them, if they're going to be able to have another serious relationship or another marriage. So they just feel more secure. So they just stay there and unfortunately hold up another person's life because they don't want to let them go. Another reason is kind of along the same lines is um, they don't want to let go of a person until they've secured someone else. And I know that sounds so evil of a person to do, but yeah, like a person will know they don't want to be with a person, but yet they will just keep them while they're actively in pursuit to find somebody else that they could be happy with before they let that person go. So that's definitely, another reason. Of course, there's just your regular old control, just wanting to be controlling, and just having the person there, even if they know that they're making them miserable. So another reason is that still selfish. A person does not want to be looked at as being the bad person or the person that gave up on the relationship. They always want to be able to have someone else to blame. So sometimes what will happen is a person will remain in the relationship, they'll cheat, they'll do a bunch of other things. At the end of the day, what they're attempting to do, because they don't want to take responsibility for ending it. So, what they'll often do is they will do whatever until the person gets miserable and they give up and decide to end it on their own because this person is obviously not doing the right thing in the relationship, because then it takes all responsibility off of them and they'll be able to say, well, I didn't want to end the relationship, they did. Or they'll blatantly tell you, you did, but not taking into account that they were making a person pretty miserable before they got to that point. But at the end of the day, it's just a big game and really just does not want to take responsibility for being the big person and saying that they don't want the relationship anymore. So they just don't want to take that responsibility. They'd rather have somebody else do it. They don't want to look bad. And they would rather that that person end it. This is why I often tell people, if you know the writing is on the wall, you don't need a person's permission to put yourself out of misery, because sometimes they won't do it. Sometimes it'll drag on and on and on for years. And it's really can set you up for a lot of just regret and self resentment against yourself for going against your better judgment when you could clearly see that this person wasn't doing the right thing. So many times it's just a fear of making the wrong decision and not knowing. But to me, you know, if a person is not into you and it's evident, and you have to learn how to trust your gut and let things go. There are people, I'm serious, there are people, they'll let you stay as long as you want to. They'll use you, run in and out, come back and forth. They will waste your life. So, anyway, I know this one was a little bit tougher with me talking about this, but I hope that it was helpful. And until the next time, please take care of yourself.